Hello everyone. Today we are here to study the third chapter of history, that is the Delhi Sultans. In this chapter, the students will be able to identify the major rulers of Delhi Sultans. Secondly, the students will be able to analyze how different dynasties emerged and vanished. Third, students will be studying the leadership of Delhi Sultans. Delhi Sultanate is a noble example for the glory of the medieval India. Its culture of art and architecture that is found today is praiseworthy. The Sultan of Delhi ruled to a long period of about 320 years, with various achievements and defeats in different fields. During the Delhi Sultanate period, there were different dynasties which ruled Delhi. The first one being the slave dynasty that ruled from 1206 to 1290 AD. Then came the Khalji dynasty, 1290 to 1320 AD. After Khalji dynasty came the Tughlaq dynasty. It ruled from 1320 to 1414 AD. Next came the Sayyid dynasty, 1414 to 1451 was the period ruled by the Sayyid dynasty. The last dynasty of the Delhi Sultanate was the Lodi dynasty, which ruled from 1451 to 1526 AD. First of all, we are going to study about the slave dynasty. The first Sultan of Delhi was Qutbuddin Aibak. He was a slave of God Muhammad Ghori. Hence, the dynasty was called the slave dynasty. They ruled for nearly 84 years and were called Mamluk Sultans. Mamluk means slave. Qutbuddin was very clever and an able administrator. He treated all his subjects, that means the people who were under him, with a lot of kindness, which earned him a lot of popularity among them. He earned the title of Lakh Baksh, meaning the giver of lakhs, as he was a very generous ruler. The second was the Khalji dynasty. The first ruler of this dynasty was Jalaluddin. He was not a strong leader. He was succeeded by Alauddin Khalji, who in turn was a very ambitious ruler. He won over his nobles and soldiers by giving gold to them. All the time his spies or detectives were very active in the area. He expanded his empire and tried to control the Rajput kingdom as well. There were different economic measures that were adopted by Alauddin Khilji. First of all, he wanted to capture Deccan and Rajputs, for which he required huge army. To maintain army, he needed money, and that money came from the revenue collection. He controlled prices of all the commodities in his area. The Sultan made arrangements to buy all excess non-perishable commodities. A strict watch was kept on the business. Anyone found cheating was severely punished. Following these measures, he collected a lot of money. Then the Tughlaq dynasty. The first ruler was Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq. He was a capable commander and was able to crush many rebellions during his period. He was succeeded by his son Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Muhammad bin Tughlaq had a deep knowledge of philosophy, logic, mathematics, medicine, Persian, Arabic, Turkish, and Sanskrit language. Ibn Battuta, a Moroccan traveler, had written about Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Certain administrations under Khaljis and Tughlaqs. First, land were called Iktas under both Khaljis and Tughlaqs. Then, the holders or the rulers of Iktas were called Iktadars or Muktis. The duty of these Muktis was to lead military campaigns. The duty also included the collection of revenue as salary by the Muktis. Then accounted keep check on Muktis. There were accountants who were appointed to keep a check whether the Muktis were working properly or not. There was there are certain points that can be compared between Alauddin Khalji and Muhammad Tughlaq. First, let's read about Alauddin Khilji's policies. He raised a huge army. Then he constructed a new garrison town which is named as CD4 today, and that was for his soldiers. The soldiers had to be fed. They had to be given food. The tax was fixed at 50% of the produce of the land. Whatever the farmers were producing, they had to give 50% of whatever they earned. His administrative measures were successful and effective. They had great effect on the society. Now, Muhammad bin Tughlaq. He also raised a huge army as Alauddin Khalji. He got emptied old towns of Delhi for soldiers. He did not construct a new town, whereas he made the available places vacated for his soldiers. Then, taxes from same areas were collected to feed soldiers. From that areas only where the soldiers were kept, the taxes were collected from that. His soldiers were paid in cash. The salaries were given in cash. His administrative measures did not succeed as much as that of Alauddin Khalji. So, here we can understand the difference very clearly. So, that's all for today. Thank you. Have a nice day.